Hey everyone, welcome to our first trophy guide video in the brand new indie title Sword of the Sea. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the trophy Untouchable, and for this trophy you need to defeat the final boss in the game without taking a single hit. So in order to do this one, what you're going to want to do is first complete the game, and then return to the chapter select, which unlocks after you've completed the main game, the main story. Chapter 8 is called Sky Abyss. And basically, this is the entirety of the final boss fight. So you can just kind of reload this chapter on each attempt of this trophy. The only kind of downside to that is there's sort of a lengthy, like 2 to 3 minute cutscene that's going to play every time you reload this chapter. And as of me recording this video a few days after launch, there's no way to skip those cutscenes. So kind of annoying, just takes a little bit of patience. But in terms of the final boss fight itself, I'll just kind of take you through the different stages and give you some tips and tricks as we go along here. The first stage of the fight is pretty straightforward. The only attack that can kind of damage you as you're working your way up this tower here is the falling rocks. But you can see them coming from a pretty good distance away. And I found that if you kind of go straight and slightly to the right or left, you'll always kind of have an easy time dodging the rocks. Once you get through that dodging rock section, you'll have sort of a brief section where you don't take any damage. Then you'll have this section here, this kind of cloud half-pipe section. So you see here, the boss is chasing me, and I'm going left and right, up and down the half pipe, collecting the little water orb things, and then once you collect enough, you press square to damage the final boss. Now, he only has about 3 different attacks during this stage. The easiest one to dodge is the one he'll do the first couple of times, which is this sort of laser move. All you can basically do to dodge the laser move is just keep doing what I'm doing here. I'm just moving left and right throughout the half pipe, and as long as you just keep moving, pretty much the laser will never kind of damage you. It'll also have that kind of fire move you just saw there, but you can just dodge that with a simple jump. There's one final move, the third move, which is probably going to be the main one you're going to have some trouble with, at least I did. He'll have this kind of like meteor attack where he'll rain down these meteors from high above. And I just found that the best strategy for dealing with this attack right here is to immediately stop, sort of going left and right on the half pipe, and just entirely focus for the next 30 seconds on kind of just dodging the attacks. You have a little bit of time to dodge them, but I found that when you're in midair on the half pipe collecting the water orbs, it doesn't really give you enough kind of leeway to dodge left and right. So you can get hit fairly easily if you're in midair when he does that attack. So basically just focus on dodging that attack, and then when he's not doing that attack, doing the other ones, you can then collect the water orbs and damage him that way. Once you've done that enough times, you'll progress here to the third and final sort of stage of the boss fight. Once again, it'll be another laser kind of based attack. But as you can see here, you can just keep kind of going in a straight line, either left or right, up and down the water tube here. And the laser will basically never catch you and never damage you. So it's pretty easy and straightforward for that first part of this final stage. Once you've damaged the final boss enough times, you're just going to want to kind of keep, sort of surfing around, collecting the water balls. Once you've hit him a number of times and you've dodged this laser attack here a second time, you'll finally come up to a part which is kind of like a little quick time event where the little dolphin will come up here. And then all you have to do for this part is just spam square. No kind of timing involved, no kind of, really any way to take damage for this part. But what may be a part where you do take damage at the very end here of this third and final stage. So you'll damage the boss, you'll hit square once again a bunch of times, then you'll go to kind of a B part of this stage, but he'll make these big sort of rings of fire, and they can certainly damage you if you're not paying attention. But the easiest way to kind of beat this part is just go very slow, and just don't really focus so much on dealing damage, just focus on dodging the rings of fire. Similar to the second stage, when you're in midair, you don't have enough real time, or the game doesn't really let you move in midair as much as when you're on the water. So if you just go very slow, just focus on jumping with a single jump over the rings of fire, and then on these sort of half rings of fire, just sort of positioning your guy to dodge them. From there, as long as you get past the fire ring sequence, he'll eventually revert back to the sort of basic just laser attack. You can just kind of, on that, sort of take advantage of the easier attack, and then just hit him with the water orbs. But as you see here, then he switches back to the fire rings again, so I'm just going to go really slow, focus on just dodging the jumps there, doing the jumps, and then dodging the half rings. And then as long as you do that, take your time on this little fire ring section, you'll damage the boss enough times, and you'll have a second part here with the shark. So the shark will come up, and similar to the dolphin part, I don't know who came up with this, but similar to the dolphin part, you'll just kind of have to keep spamming square. And once you do that enough times, the boss will finally take enough damage. You'll then surf up to him, hit square a bunch more times, and that will defeat the final boss. So in terms of the fight itself, only really a couple small little bits and a couple small attacks where you have some chances of taking damage there. But important to note, for this trophy to unlock, you have to watch the entire credits. The trophy will not unlock right after you defeat the boss. I was a bit confused on this while I was doing it, but basically just let all the credits roll after the boss is defeated. Then finally, at the very last little logo reveal there, the Untouchable trophy will unlock. So that is the Untouchable trophy, is to defeat the final boss in Sword of the Sea without taking a single hit. So a bit of a longer video here today as we get started with Sword of the Sea, but I've really enjoyed my time with this game. I certainly recommend that you check it out if you are a PS Plus Extra subscriber. It's a pretty short game, but it's a nice little spiritual successor to Journey and Abzu, which are two games that I featured on my channel many, many years ago. So I'll have a few more videos in this game coming out over the next few days. Be on the lookout for that. Either way, guys, if this video helped you out, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys soon.